On this day in 1955, thousands of residents from Sophiatown were displaced and forcibly removed from the suburb. Under the Group Areas Act of 1950, they were forced to relocate to Meadowlands in Soweto. Today, a group of residents walked the 13-kilometre trek from the Trevor Huddleston Memorial Centre in Sophiatown to the Reverend Modise House to commemorate the day. Newzroom Afrika's Katleho Sekhotho joins us now with more details. Katleho, good to speak to you. Can you bring us up to speed with what's happened throughout the day?
Good afternoon, Hugo. An incredibly important historical site at the back of me here in Meadowlands, Soweto, and this was the home in which many people who were forcibly removed from their homes in areas such as Sophiatown in 1955. This is where they started their journey. But before then, just to give you some historical context, this house was used by the apartheid government in which it was an administrative house in which people came here, and this is where they would be allocated housing. When one arrived here, they would be given a pint of milk and 2 loaves of bread, and then it would be seen as to where people would be placed within Meadowlands according to their ethnic background. Now, to give you some other background, then the house then became the home of the late Reverend Reverend Mudis, who then occupied the house and established the church in 1962. And this is where the home became a beacon of light, if you will, for many who were forcibly displaced from areas such as Sophiatown, which were then turned into white suburbs. And this became a beacon of light at which they could come here to seek at least refuge, to understand where to go from here. But to get more details about this historical site, I do have with me Katleho to give us more details. Tate, thank you for your time. Can you just paint a picture for us as to the significance and the historical value of this home?
Yeah, thank you very much, Katleho. Thank you very much. Now, with regard to the history or the importance of the history of the Reverend F.S. Modise Heritage House, is that during the forced removals from Sophiatown of 1956 to 1961, the house was used by the Native Resettlement Board as a reception office. So after arriving here, displaced residents were assigned homes by the apartheid authorities, sending them to different zones of Meadowlands according to their ethnic backgrounds, as Botswanas, the Vendors, the Zulus, etc., etc. So later, this landmark building became the home of Reverend Reverend Mudis, who founded the International Pentecostal Holiness Church in 1962. So the church spread rapidly through many parts of Southern Africa. So this is just to sum up what is written in those plaques.
And I guess just a last one. Do you wish more people in Meadowlands understand the significance of this home? And do you think young people know its value?
I believe young people should understand the value of understanding this historical context of this beautiful house of the Modise family.
Thank you. We'll leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So there you have it, Hugo. This was the home, and this is where many people came during the late 1960s or the mid-1960s, and it became a beacon of light in Meadowlands, Soweto, for those displaced. And obviously earlier on we started the day with a number of people walking that 13-kilometre trek from the Trevor Huddleston Memorial Centre to this place, and now they have passed by and left it. And this is where they remember the long journey that it was, which really, in many cases, tore apart families and left people in a lot of pain.
Katleho just now spoke to the importance of young people understanding the significance of history and obviously the sacrifices that were made. Were young people part of the individuals, a group that walked from Sophiatown earlier?
So Hugo, there were indeed a number of young people who took part in the walk, and really them saying it was a first-time experience for them. They've walked on now, they've moved on from here quite a while ago, but they were really saying that just walking that 13 kilometers, they understand the gravitas of that journey from where you once knew as home, which we know was Sophiatown, that cultural melting pot of diversity of people from all different backgrounds. You had black people, colored people, Chinese, Indian living in one space, different people who are of different professions, academics, intellectuals living in one space, and then them just being separated and brought here, and some of those young people who took part in that walk really saying that taking part in the walk really did shine a light for them as to the significance of that displacement and the pain that it definitely caused a number of families. Over 60,000 people were displaced during that time, and it was only in 2006 that Sophiatown was renamed from Triumph back to Sophiatown. So very, very harsh memories for some of those people who lived during that time.
Katleho Sekhotho coming to us from Meadowlands and walking us back to 1955, where thousands of residents from Sophiatown were displaced and forcibly removed from that suburb. Appreciate your time.